Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we booked Alpega Group 280 qualified enterprise demos last year alone. Right now, we're booking them anywhere from about 60 to 100 demos per month. The number really varies depending on the month, and we do that in about 6 languages right now. Previously, we were doing that in 5 languages, and it equated to about 10 million plus in pipeline. Could be a lot more depending on, the size of some of the people that they met with. But if you run sales, marketing, or business development at a logistics, supply chain, or procurement software company, you probably want to listen to this one. Okay. So Alpega had the same situation as most people. Their current in-house BDRs, the marketing and all this different stuff was hitting about 10 to 30% of the market. They're doing extremely personalized outreach. They're focusing on the big guys. They're looking at their intent signals. They're focusing in on these people. Great. They're getting meetings, but they need more. There's about 70% of the market that they're not able to reach out to without hiring a ridiculous amount of people and having a lot of operational constraints that would end up costing a lot of money. But there's a lot of money to be made in the 70% that are uncontacted because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit with people who are struggling and need help now. That's where we came in. We come in, we implement personalized outreach at scale that allows them to hit more of the market with extremely personalized messaging, but they're not having to scale up their own BD team, and it allows their BD team to focus on the outreach, on the qualifying, on all the stuff that they're already doing, and not have to spread super thin trying to reach out to all of these guys, yeah? And this is the thing. You need to map out your entire target market and not just your top named accounts. Your top named accounts, 100% they're your top priority, but you need to be going after the other guys as well. There's a lot of pipeline and a lot of revenue sitting there that you are missing out on, okay? So Alpega tried 3 things before working with us, but I think a lot of companies have tried. They tried working with like a German BDR SDR agency, yeah, and then they tried a French one. And the thing is, they're just replicating what they're already doing in-house. They're just paying another company to come in, implement a BDR that's never going to be as good as your internal BDRs because you don't have the ability to train them to the same level as your internal teams. So they're just duplicating the work. They're not actually getting something different to what they already have. Then they tried some in-house SDRs, guys who are constantly calling all day. That's all they do, just outreach, outreach, outreach. The problem is they're very expensive. They churn very quickly. They need a lot of data on the back end, which needs people to support them. And it's just very hard to scale up unless you have like a full motion built completely around that, which is possible, but very expensive, very hard to do. And the data is a nightmare to get constantly to them because if they're getting their own data, they're never going to do enough dials to be able to reach 70% of the market. And then they tried some stuff that I think everybody's tried, like some, email outreach, some LinkedIn outreach, some AI outreach, mostly like automation tools, which like, hey, they can be good. They're not amazing, but they're pretty cheap for what they do. So it's like, it helped a little bit, but it's never going to be all the way there and replace what, actual humans doing large scale calling can do. So in my opinion, you should never hire a full-time SDR to just test a channel. I think it's a very expensive way to do it. If you're going to go down the SDR route, you need multiple, you need a person to manage all of them. You need a data team to manage them for the data side. Yeah. It's a lot building like a full SDR motion. Most agencies are just competing with your BDRs. You're just getting like someone that comes in, spends 50% of their time on your account. They'll never fully know it. They're never fully aligned. They have different incentives. It just doesn't really work all that well. It works well if you don't have the capacity to hire BDRs at the time. It's a great stepping stone until you build that out. But in my opinion, it makes sense to have BDRs internally. Okay. Now, our guys, because they're able to do a lot of volume, they're able to get in front of a lot of new accounts that you guys haven't been able to approach yet. It means we're constantly calling fresh lists, we're constantly hitting green open pastures, and it's constantly working very well because we're hitting the people that have never heard your name, getting that brand awareness in front of people as well. Going after this bulk of contacts is just a great way to do it. It's not spray and pray because all of the messaging is still very personalized to the people that we're talking to, but you need to be getting in front of a lot of people nowadays. That's just how outbound is kind of gone. You can't do small targeted outreach and not have the large scale as well. Like I said, this is where you need multiple data sources to get as many people to contact as possible. And this is where a lot of agencies kind of go wrong because most agencies just bought a database like a couple years ago. It's like couple years old, but they have like million numbers in there. Great. It's probably a lot of numbers. Most don't have that. But the problem is people move companies. They're no longer in the same role. They're no longer at the same job, which is one of the issues. And the second part is they're just calling the same people over and over and over again. All of our lists are built when we bring in a client, which means that We're constantly going after fresh people that are actually in the job roles, and how we're splitting all of our campaigns means they're as personalized as possible. Yeah. And again, it's like, because we have access to so many databases, because we get so much data, we get cheaper per contact data, which means we can get more of the data. Right now, we currently have English, German, French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Polish, and Arabic ready to call. It's huge because you call people in their own language, which is way more effective. And like, calling somebody in French is far more effective than just emailing them in French, because people can translate an email, but you can't really translate a cold call. So that's the thing. And there's different cultural aspects which only somebody that speaks that language will understand and be able to do when they're talking to someone over the phone, which is why it converts so much better. So we kind of slot in to your processes. We're part of your outbound motion. We go hand in hand with your BDR team. We don't get rid of them. We get them more discoveries, more demos to qualify and go through to pass over to sales and all these different things. Your account executives are happy. Make sure that your account executives are focusing on just qualifying, closing, and all these different things, not having to generate like sometimes they have to, because things are very quiet and dry. And then this is how we're able to personalize the outreach at scale. You've got to take all of your campaigns and break it down into subsections of departments that you want to reach out to. Sustainability gets a very different message to warehouse, to get a very different message to logistics. But if you make sure that you personalize these to all the different departments, all the messages are very different and tailored to the person they're talking to, but you can still reach out to 30, 40, 50 people at a company, which is what you need to do with an enterprise. You need to find the one guy with the buying power who cares, who wants to change. And that's different in every enterprise organization, and different with how long someone's been in the job role. So that's the thing. That's what you really need to be doing. And then changing the script based on if you're going after a champion, a user of a software, or if you're going after like a decision maker. If you talk to a CFO and you say like, hey, we're going to make your life so much easier and reduce your manual processes. They don't care. They care about saving money. You know, they care about the actual bottom line numbers that is going to bring to them, not the day-to-day how it works. And then this is the thing. You basically need to be calling, reviewing the calls, seeing what's happening, listening to the market, adjusting based on what the market is saying, push that and repeat it. You'll never know what the market truly wants, and it constantly shifts based on just everything that's happening in the world. So you need to be constantly reviewing all these calls, iterating and changing. Nice part for us is, because we only work with supply chain logistics and procurement software companies, we see what works across all of our clients and we can feed that into other clients. It means all of our clients are learning from each other and we're all getting the best possible results because of each other. But all of our lists are built separately, so there's no actual like intent competition. You can see this is how our kind of results scaled up over time. Initially, it was about one caller. We're sitting anywhere from about 20 to 30 meetings per month. Now that we've scaled this up, it's anywhere from like a 60 to 120, I think in a single month was one of the strongest months. And this is where we just brought in a lot more callers. We brought in a lot more languages and able to get a lot more results because of that. Yeah. So it's genuinely about locking the scripts, locking the targeting, make sure we're going after, make sure it works, and then ramp up the volume. I would say these are some of the people that we book meetings with, just so you know that like, hey, big companies in there, some large ones. I'm sure you know a lot of these guys. And if you take three things away from this, you need to go wide before you go deep, in my opinion. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit where you can get easy closes and easy revenue, rather than just focusing in on 10, 20, 100 accounts and hoping, trying to overcome all these objections and fighting them tooth and nail. Find the guy that's struggling that actually needs your solution. Humans are always going to be anything automated, in my opinion, especially on calling. We've tried AI SDRs. It didn't really work. And if people notice you're an AI email or an AI SDR is calling them, which is kind of illegal doing AI calling, it damages the brand reputation. If you call with a human, it's very rare to damage your brand reputation. You get the occasional guy that gets really annoyed, but they were going to get annoyed at any sort of outreach, and they're not the type of people you should listen to. The ones you shouldn't listen to are also the loudest people. And then in my opinion, you want to rent the engine before you build it. Before you build out an entire SDR function internally, you probably want to use an agency like us to help you show that it works, make sure it makes sense, and then slowly build that out internally, which we can help you with, over time so that you can scale it up. Going one SDR at a time and hoping that they're going to figure everything out, it just doesn't really work. It's not easy calling into enterprise and decision makers. Our guys do it all the time, so they know how to do it. So if you are a supply chain logistics or procurement software company, you want to have a discussion about how we can help you automate your outbound and get more enterprise demos at scale, book in a meeting below and we can talk about it. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe we work together. Great. If not, you walk away learning a lot more about how you could be doing your outbound and how you could be getting some amazing results with or without us. I'm Christian Casillo, founder of Lindley Generation. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe.